What is going on to you, crew? And welcome to episode 68 of the Totally Unqualified Podcast. We have got some very, very interesting things to get into today. But before we get into any of that, I, of course, am welcomed by my two amazing co-hosts. One of them a little more chipper than the other right now. So I'll start with the happier one. Jake, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing fine. This sucks because just, a week and a half ago, I was going through exactly what Luke is going through right now. Just so you know, buddy, which empathize is it? Sympathize, empathize.
One of those.
We're in touch with our
emotions around here. Yeah, we don't know the words, but we know we know
exactly. I one of the athizes with you. I know it sucks, but you're gonna get through this. We're all here for you. And plus this is great content for us, but not to use your emotions to not to exploit your emotions. Anyway, please, I leave the floor to you.
I'll just pick up from
yeah, go ahead.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. I'm not drunk enough for what just happened. I wish we recorded 30 minutes before we did, because we would have had raw reactions. We're going to talk about what just happened to me and why my heart is completely torn in a second. This is tough. This is a tough day. I have my Packers socks on. I thought it was my lucky day. I was watching highlights before I went to bed last night. For what? I don't even get the fucking major decisions of this team. I'm an owner and I don't even get a phone call. I don't get a text. I don't get an email. What's the point of me spending $700?
They're not even including you. Exactly.
Yeah.
$700 whole to own this team, and
that money was supposed to go to his fucking contract. What are we doing?
You're right.
They don't even notify you. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think you could have a legitimate class action lawsuit on your hands here. I
agree. Yeah. I mean, he's getting paid. You should get paid, right?
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
But we'll get to that in just a moment. We, of course, have a couple things to get to. First, if you guys are listening on Apple or Spotify, be sure to leave a rating and review. We very much appreciate it. It will make Luke a lot happier than he is currently. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to drop a like, leave ring that bell, all that fun stuff. Subscribe. We appreciate that as well. But before we get into Davante Adams, we're going to get into a different player, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. You have to guess who it is.
All right.
So the timer is ready. So whenever you guys...
Is he on the Raiders?
He is not on the Raiders.
Did he just get traded to the Raiders?
He did not just get traded to the Raiders.
Is he in the AFC West? Because everybody's in the AFC West
He
now.
is not in the AFC West.
NFC?
Oh
He's not in the NFC.
AFC South?
No.
AFC North?
Yes.
Baker Mayfield?
No.
Is he a skill position?
No.
Defense?
Quarterback?
Defense, yes. Quarterback, no.
Browns?
No.
Steelers?
Yes.
Miles Jack?
It is Miles Jack.
Good one. Shit. I was gonna say Cam Hayward. Damn.
With 50
shit.
seconds to spare too. Yeah, I figured
Good
I'd go with
shit.
somebody that was just traded,
Yeah, maybe not just traded.
Or not traded, but he was released and then signed with the Steelers.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah.
Part of the whole free agency thing. It was pretty surprising, and we alluded to it a little bit already, but we've got another trade that was pretty surprising, another big move. Davante Adams said that he would not play under the franchise tag for the Packers. We thought that maybe they would work toward a deal, try to come up with some sort of contract or something like that. He ends up being traded to the Raiders for a first and a second round pick, and he signs a 5-year deal with the Raiders worth $141.5 million, officially the highest paid receiver in NFL history. So, Luke, we got a little bit of your reaction already, but let's just kind of get your thoughts on this whole thing and see where you're at as far as just Davante Adams, how he'll mesh with Derek Carr and the whole nine.
Yeah, I feel dead inside, to be quite honest. I was literally setting up my whole shitty ass setup right now. I have my laptop on top of 2 boxes. I get the notification on my phone. And now here I am 20 minutes later. I look like shit because I feel like shit. Davante Adams, after Jordy Nelson, also went to the Raiders. Fuck the Raiders.
James
sorry.
Jones too. James
James Jones as well. James Jones came back. Maybe we'll see that happen with Davante as well. Probably not, but yeah, all my Packer receivers going to the Raiders. Just, no, Davante was my favorite player. I've always loved Aaron Rodgers, but I've always been gravitated towards like the receivers. Jordy Nelson is probably my favorite player of all time. And then after Jordy Nelson, it was Davante Adams because he was that good and he bet on himself. And, a lot of Packer fans wanted him gone after his terrible 2015 season, where he dropped 1 million passes. And then he came back the next year, had double-digit touchdowns, made a Pro Bowl the following year, and then has been the best receiver in football over the past, 3 years or so, or one of the best. So this hurts. There's a lot of interesting things about this, especially since they just brought back Aaron Rodgers. You'd figured if Aaron Rodgers wanted to come back, you'd think that Davante Adams was also coming back. That is not the case. Apparently, Ian Rappaport just tweeted out that Rodgers always knew that this was going to be the case if he came back, that Davante Adams was not going to be a Packer any longer, which just leaves the Green Bay Packers in a really rough spot because they've been sort of a pass-happy team in the Rodgers tenure, in the Rodgers era. And now their best receiver is Allen Lazard.
Bobby Tunyon should be coming back, right? No weapon there.
Yeah, Mercedes Lewis just got weapons, man. 50-year-old Randall Cobb.
Put Aaron Jones out wide.
Aaron Jones basically is a receiver at this point. He basically is a receiver.
Maybe that's what you guys can use Jordan Love for. Since you're not going to use him as a quarterback, you might as well
receiver.
Josh McCown played a little receiver. Gage's quarterback plays mainly receiver.
Maybe you could turn him into the next Terrell Pryor. I mean, listen.
True.
True. He's just sitting on the bench. Enough of the Packers. As for the Raiders, I feel like this was coming for a long time. Like if there was going to be a team that Davante Adams eventually went to, it was going to be the Raiders, and it was going to be with Derek Carr. And now that it actually happened, it's like, well, of course, that was always going to happen. I think the Raiders are still probably the weakest team in that division. Yeah. I know they have a lot of weapons. I know they have Hunter Renfrow. I know they have Darren Waller. I know they have Josh Jacobs. But just to me, I'm not in love with their secondary at all. I'm not really in love with their linebacking core. They have a hell of a pass rush duo in Max Crosby and Chandler Jones now, but I still think with the firepower the Broncos just added with Russell Wilson, and the Chargers is seemingly adding every single position of need, and they already have an up and coming quarterback, and the Chiefs having quite possibly or probably the best quarterback in football right now. I still think the Raiders are probably the worst team in that division, but we're gonna have to see how it plays out. Injuries will be a big part of this. But yeah, I feel like shit. Packers fans should feel like shit right now. We've had a really good string of luck, to be honest. Like the past decade, the Packers might not have won shit, but we've had a good string of luck. We've been able to cheer for a good team. This was bound to happen at some point. Packers can't pay everybody, so yeah. Dark days are right now, but I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're gonna bring in Juju Smith-Schuster, so that'll be fun. Yeah, listen, I'll go to a Packers game, make a couple TikToks with him. That'll be doing numbers for me.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, he would be an immediate improvement. You know what I mean? Over like all the guys you have there.
I don't know. I feel like Allen Lazard could step up, honestly.
I think that he could step up, but I think as of right now, just based on what we've seen, I'd probably take Juju personally. That's fair. What do you think, Jake?
Number one, for the Packers this period, they now have 2 first-round picks in this year's draft, so good for them. I feel like they don't make this trade if they didn't have a plan, and I guarantee that plan is not only Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't think they're that stupid. And to be fair, Luke, this is probably the deepest wide receiver class we've ever seen in history. Combating with the one we saw a couple of years ago with Justin Jefferson and company. But so I'm sure you guys are going to take a receiver there. It's tough for the Packers. They did have major cap issues, so I feel like there was going to have to be a pretty big sacrifice there at some point. And it sucks. It sucks. I know exactly how you feel. It's terrible. The good news is that I'm sure you guys are definitely going to get a damn good receiver in the draft, maybe two. And you'll be right back on your feet because you don't need much with Aaron Rodgers. All right. So that's my little bit to make you feel better. For the Raiders, I think this is great for the Raiders. This is the best receiver they've had since, really Amari Cooper. Like this has been their best receiver in a while. And they needed it. They've been so ever since the Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree days, they've really been struggling to have that number one guy. They believed it would be Henry Ruggs. They wanted it to be Henry Ruggs. That obviously did not work out for other reasons. But Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow are really the only real threats there. Brian Edwards was kind of popped onto the seat a little bit last year, but you get an immediate upgrade with Davante Adams. The established connection that Derek Carr and Davante Adams already have from their college days at Fresno State. I think that's great. And this Raiders team, you got to give them credit because they were in shambles last year. And this new Patriots GM that came in, the guy from the Patriots, I don't know what his name is off the top of my head, to work with Josh McDaniels. They said they were going to right the ship there, and they really are. They're doing just from the offseason moves they've made so far. They traded for Rocky Sin, who's a pretty solid corner from the Colts to improve that secondary. Then they go out and they get Chandler Jones. So definitely some good moves getting made there. And the Raiders are just constantly improving. And this is going to be a damn good team. They needed to improve because of how deep and how intimidating the AFC West is right now. And I'm going to be honest, like Luke, you said before we even started recording that the Chiefs might have the weakest roster in the AFC West. And honestly, they kind of do. They 100% have the worst defense. I don't think that's crazy to say. And their offense is I feel like the Raiders defense now with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. Sure. Gerald McCoy is at D tackle too. They got some nice pieces there. I feel like the defense of the Raiders definitely is going to get better. And they got some draft picks to do some stuff with. So this is a good move for the Raiders. I believe they have how many first round picks do they have this year? Is it 2?
Raiders?
Yeah.
None now, right?
Yeah, now
none now. None now.
None. They traded
they only
first
had one
and second.
with.
Okay. Oh, I'm thinking of the Eagles.
Yeah.
The
Eagles have like 3.
Yeah, the Raiders had 3 a couple of years ago. So yeah, I think this was good for the Raiders. The Packers, it was never going to be able, as soon as Davante Adams came out and said he was going to play under the franchise tag, it was pretty much a done deal. It's unfortunate. You hate to see it happen. I love to see these guys personally stay with the teams that drafted them. Doesn't really happen a lot anymore. But I'm sure the Packers are going to be fine. You guys were able to secure Devondre Campbell, which I thought was a big move. And you got Aaron Rodgers back. That's another big move. So you guys are still in a good place. You're still in a good place. And the NFC is definitely weak right now. I mean, look at the teams. There's really only 3. Like you got the Bucks, you got the Rams, and you got the Packers. Like other than that, who's really Cardinals? Not really.
Yeah, maybe.
Niners. We don't know what Trey Lance is probably not going to be there next year. So is probably not going to be up to that level next year. So, it's just tough. It's a tough situation for the Packers, but I think they'll be able to power through it.
It's wild. It's crazy. I can't really relate so much, I guess, because my favorite player was Drew Brees and I just watched him retire, which still sucked. But to have a guy traded and have to watch him play on another team or something like that has to suck, as far as from just a football fit, like from a friend standpoint and from a co-host standpoint. I feel for you. It sucks. I'm sorry. But from a football fan standpoint, maybe I'm a little bit new school with this kind of stuff, but I like this. This is one of the most exciting times of the year for me, is watching all these guys get moved around. Yep. And I feel like it, adds to the experience of the NFL, being able to see a guy paired up with somebody else for the first time and see what they can do in a different situation. But this is huge for both teams, really, because in the big picture of things, the Packers created a lot of cap space by moving him, because they're not going to have to re-sign him. They're not going to have to play him under that franchise tag and pay him there. and you guys got some picks out of it. So like Jake was saying, maybe you get some receivers out of that. If you don't get at least one, there's definitely an issue there.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see how that plays out here in a month or so now.
Yeah.
And
Luke, I just want to say, like, if the Packers, like, there's a very real possibility you can get a Justin Jefferson type of player in this draft, and then you have that type of receiver on a rookie contract.
Yeah, an immediate impact kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, in these 6 minutes where my computer crashed, I was alone thinking to myself here in the dark. Listen, I'm not gonna say that this makes the Packers more of a Super Bowl team, because it clearly fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
Davante Adams, one of the top 2 receiver in football right now. This might be the move that the Packers had to make to unlock that Super Bowl door. Getting off of this contract and, getting an array of picks, which I would bet money. I would honestly bet money that one of their first round picks probably isn't a receiver. I'm at that point with Brian Gutekunst in this Packers organization where they don't get a receiver in the first or second round, or just in the draft at all.
I think they take at least one.
They're taking one. Stop it.
But I mean, but to play off of what you're saying, I mean, if there's a time to be receiver needy, now is that time.
Yeah.
And to have 2 first round picks and to have all of these guys that could be just blowout receivers come in and make an immediate impact, like we were saying, this is the time to be needing that kind of guy.
But let me tell you, this is kind of what Matt LaFleur wanted in a way. Now, obviously, you don't want to give up the best receiver in football, but the Green Bay Packers forever now, since Brett Favre was there, have been a pass-first team.
Yeah.
And they play in the fucking coldest state, in the coldest stadium in America. That doesn't make sense. You need to be a ground and pound football team. And that's what I hope they're going for right now with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones. Now that, they don't have the best receiver in football, now that they don't feel like they have to feed him every single play now. But yeah, I think they're going to add a veteran. Maybe it's Jarvis Landry. Maybe it's Julio Jones. I really kind of hope it's Julio Jones, because I think Aaron Rodgers could get the best out of Julio at this point in his career.
Yeah.
But I heard Julio might be going to Tampa, so just fuck all of us, right? Fuck everybody that isn't a Bucs fan, right? God damn it, Tom Brady, you fucking asshole.
He's in my fucking division, and I got it. He just, you come over here. Oh, you that didn't work out elsewhere that I'm going to make look fantastic. You come on and, get a ring real quick.
This might be a blessing in disguise for me, because now you guys are arguing like this. I just get to sit back and know that we're not competitive for like 3 years. So like, I don't even have to worry about this.
We're just fucking like teetering so much. We could either be absolutely abysmal or be competitive and make the playoffs.
It's kind of nice being at rock bottom. Actually, it's like, all right,
there's only one.
I know where I am. I know where we are, but I don't got to worry about it.
All 3 of our teams completely in shambles this offseason.
All right. I wouldn't say you guys are in shambles the way I'm in shambles. I would say
I wouldn't say Luke is in shambles the way I'm in shambles.
Luke, I think you're being a little bit.
I feel like
you're just in shambles. I'm just in shambles because this is like the first time anything like this happened to me. I'm a spoiled Packers fan.
I have to deal with.
I feel like Jordy was worse. I feel like Jordy was worse, probably.
Jordy was worse in retrospect because we gave that money to Jimmy Graham instead. For why that ever happened. Now this is kind of just like, I feel empty.
Legend, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gage.
Saints legend. Jimmy Graham might be my least favorite Packer of all time, and that's not even a joke. Like, the amount of money we gave him to be that terrible at football was absurd.
I would say Brandon Bostic is probably up there a little bit.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about Jimmy Graham.
Maybe Kevin King a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Martellus Bennett. Martellus Bennett's up there too.
Martellus Bennett as well. Sure.
I love for tight ends.
Some good options.
Oh man.
As far as the Raiders, obviously, like you guys were talking about, they got an absolute stud. This is immediately going to make them a better team. It's going to give Derek Carr yet another weapon to be thrown at too. Darren Waller gets healthy. They have Hunter Renfrow as that safety net guy, and they have Davante Adams to really open things up. And this is going to be a good team. And the fact that we're saying it might be one of the lesser teams in this division is absolutely insane. We've talked about the AFC West a couple times now. It's just getting crazier and crazier by the day. We're only, like Jake and I were talking about a few minutes ago, we're only in like technically day 2 of free agency. And this is where we're at right now.
It's so crazy. I feel every single year we say, oh, this is the craziest offseason ever. And then the next year it's, oh, no, this is the craziest. Every single year. That's why the NFL is king. This is why the NFL is king. Yeah.
This was the craziest
until next year when shit just hits the fan. Tom Brady.
I mean, what happened elsewhere. Last offseason that was like really big? Like what was a big move last offseason? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I mean, now we're just
I feel like one of the biggest things was like JJ Watt to the Cardinals.
Yeah,
JJ
that was
Watt
a big one.
Carson Wentz to the Colts.
Carson Wentz was a big
for that
one.
bag.
I don't think it was crazy last offseason, actually.
Not
D-Hop. Wait, D-Hop? No, D-Hop was
D-Hop was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't anywhere.
I'm sure it was crazy. If we were to look up a list, we'd be like, oh, okay, that happened. But just
some big moves here in my head.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about a guy that got moved, obviously, and now I feel like we need to get into a guy that wanted to get moved, but his team said, hell nah.
Yeah.
And Mr. Baker Mayfield requested a trade, and the Browns were just like, nah, you're not going anywhere. We are not getting Deshaun Watson. You're just going to stay here. So, Jake, I feel like you're kind of the resident Baker Mayfield guy around here at this point because I just kind of shit on him. So have at it, bud.
Gage, you were on my team, though. You were with me with Baker.
I still don't hate him.
I am 100% like,
there we go. I got one. It's all right. But yeah, so Baker, this is just so funny. We were talking about this before the podcast, and it's just so funny how Browns fans were so garbage. The Browns were so trash for so many years. They were a dumpster fire. They were the laughing stock of the NFL, along with the Oakland Raiders. Those two teams were just abysmal. It was bad. They couldn't find a quarterback if one hit them in the face. Like they just couldn't get one. And then they get Baker Mayfield, and say what you want about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is 10 times better than any quarterback the Browns have sniffed since their franchise came back in 1999. So I don't want to and there's just one bad year and they become so ungrateful. Like after his second season in the NFL, they're like, fuck. Like maybe it's their pessimistic attitudes. And then he goes and he has an insane season the next year, leads them to a playoff win, a playoff demolishing of the Steelers. Mm-hmm. And then they have a chance to win the game against the Chiefs, like a very close game. And like, they're still not all in on Baker Mayfield. He's injured this year. I just feel like now I'm not going to defend Baker Mayfield for this season because yes, he was injured. And like that plays a big part of it. He didn't play well. And I do think that's a lot because of the injury, but it's just ridiculous that there's a ton of Browns fans being like, I don't want Baker. He's trash. It's just a lot of fans are spoiled nowadays. And they had one good season when he came in as a rookie. And then the next year, and then 2 years after that, and then they were just ungrateful. And I don't think that's very nice of them because not everybody can have a top 5 quarterback. I want to keep ramming this down people's throats. Everybody's like, we got Kirk Cousins. We're not going to win it shit. Jimmy Garoppolo just got to a Super Bowl. What the fuck you mean you can't win shit with a Kirk Cousins or a guy? If you have a quarterback in the top half of the league, you can win a Super Bowl. That's it. If your quarterback is 16 and above in the rankings, you can win a Super Bowl. Because there's been
20 because I don't even know if Jimmy Garoppolo is top 16.
Honestly, you don't people always forget you need to build a team. Like Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl as the best quarterback in the NFL. He never I don't want to say he had a great team. That defense, not great. So he had to make up for that. So if you have a quarterback that's not the best, you got to build a defense to make up for that. It's not all on the quarterback's shoulders. But anyway,
way to skin a cat.
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like this is pretty funny for Browns fans to, need a quarterback, don't want Baker Mayfield anymore, shitting on Baker Mayfield. Then they get Deshaun Watson like dangled in their face, teasing them a little bit. And then he doesn't want out. Now Baker Mayfield feels betrayed and wants out. Good for him, by the way. And now the Browns are left with nobody. They're left with nobody. Yep. They're back to where they started. I bet they'll be missing Baker Mayfield next season. Guarantee that shit.
Yeah,
I guarantee they will be missing Baker Mayfield next season. And I am not kidding. Like somebody threw out the Lions out there for Baker Mayfield. And like Baker Mayfield and Dan Campbell, I feel like would complement each other very well in terms of their ideologies. They're just like nonstop grind mentality, like underdog mentality, like the Dan Campbell, if you push us down, we're going to get up and bite your kneecap off on the way out. Like, I feel like Baker would buy into that. But I think like the Colts, the Lions, like I feel like Baker's going to go somewhere and he's going to really like, if he sees the Browns this season, watch out, watch out if he sees the Browns this season. I feel like he's got to get traded. I feel like they just said that after seeing what happened with Russell Wilson, them saying, Russell Wilson is not in the trade block. We're not seeing it as they were working on a deal with the Broncos for a month, as they said that. This was purely just to drive up his trade value. I think them declining that request. It was purely just to drive up his trade value. I think I'm guaranteeing the fact that he gets traded at some point.
He has to.
He has to be. And as for where the Browns go, they went from being a playoff contending team to now, and honestly, a very talented roster. Like a healthy Baker Mayfield next season, they're a playoff team, guaranteed. They're a playoff team. They can.
Well,
they get
with the AFC as strong as it is, it's tough. But I think they have the talent.
But the AFC North is relatively weak. I mean, okay, you got the Bengals. Yeah, you got the Bengals.
The Bengals, the Ravens get healthy.
Yeah, the Steelers are a joke. But I mean, I'm not. I'm dissing Mitchell Trubisky right now. Yes, absolutely, 100%. But the Browns have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They still do. Their defense is loaded. Their run game is absolutely special. So they have a talented roster. If this is a team that gets hot, they could absolutely make a run in the playoffs. So now they throw all that out the window and they got to start from square one. So I don't know where they're going with this. I feel like they're really going to regret this. I feel like the only reason they took that meeting with Deshaun Watson, I don't think you take that if you have your supposed franchise quarterback, if you believe in that quarterback. And I don't think they take that if they didn't think they were going to get him, which obviously they were far off the mark on that one. So
exactly,
not looking good on the Browns front office, and Browns fans kind of deserve this. I'm going to be honest. They were very disrespectful to Baker Mayfield. So good for him. Good for him for getting out of this.
I keep seeing Browns fans say they want Derek Carr. Definitely, it's not happening.
Not happening now.
Especially not
happening now.
No.
God damn it! Everything. I can't take my
everything just ties back.
Oh man. The Browns get one ounce of success, and all of a sudden they're Super Bowl favorites every year, and they become they don't know how to act, quite literally. I think Baker Mayfield's playoff win in Pittsburgh alone should have guaranteed him a contract for life. And I'm not even kidding. Not even, because what the fuck else have the Browns? Think of just the picture of all of the Browns quarterbacks year after year after year sitting in that one shop. That is what they're going back to. I don't understand why Baker Mayfield, listen, he was outstanding his rookie season, broke the records until Justin Herbert broke his touchdown pass record for a rookie. 2019 didn't have a great year. Browns, were disappointing. 2020 led this team to the playoffs for the first time in my lifetime. That's been forever. I mean, I'm still pretty young, but in my lifetime, it's been forever, and was quite literally their best quarterback in 3 decades. 3 decades. And they're like, nah, let's go dabble with Deshaun Watson. Let's see what he's doing. And it's not even like they were gonna get Deshaun Watson to begin with. I really don't think that they were going to. Maybe give up a couple firsts for him. I'd say they have more trade pieces than some of these other teams that are contending for him, and we'll talk about that in a second or in a couple minutes here. But yeah, it's a classic case of just having your wife, but also looking on Tinder for other girls. It's one of those classic cases if that happens all the time. But it doesn't make sense. Baker Mayfield is completely in the right here. He should want to trade. I would want the hell out of there if I didn't think my team respected me. It's just like a respect thing at the end of the day. I mean, just respect the quarterback. You took him with the number 1 overall pick. He brought you to the playoffs, almost brought you to the AFC Championship game had it not been for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. There's someone trying to open up the door behind me. But yeah, I think the Browns are foolish for doing this. Baker Mayfield to the Colts. I know this won't happen. I want to see Baker Mayfield on the Steelers. I really do, because I want to see him play the Browns twice a year, and I want to see him kick the Browns' ass twice a year, because that's what they deserve at the end of the day. But no, they'll be really good with Case Keenum this year, guys. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, Case Keenum.
Yeah, it's a shit show. And like you said, like having your wife and looking for people or looking for women on Tinder, that it's a toxic relationship is exactly what it is. They've burned the bridge. You know what I mean? It was already in a bad place. They've defended him for a while. And then they come out with this after saying that they were going to try to stick with him with the whole Deshaun Watson thing. That doesn't go well. Baker Mayfield clearly wants out. And then they're going to tell him no, that they won't trade him. What are you going to do? It's going to be another Deshaun Watson situation where if I were him, I would refuse to play. If you're not going to trade me, I'm not going to play for you because you clearly don't respect me. I mean, unless he's got some sort of respect for his teammates and stuff, and that's why he goes out there. But for me personally, if I'm in that situation, thinking about myself, thinking about where I need to be, I'm probably going to sit this one out. I'm going to wait, and I'm either going to become a free agent or they're going to have to move me somehow or another. As far as potential landing spots, I think the Colts makes a lot of sense. He said that he preferred to go to the Colts as well. I also like Jameis Winston to the Colts potentially, but we'll get to, like you said, we'll get to that kind of stuff in a second. But there's a few places that, I mean, could definitely use him. Baker Mayfield, as much as I kind of bag on him and stuff as well, he's really not that bad, especially in the grand scheme of things. He's an upper half of the league quarterback right now, in my opinion. And like Jake said, not everybody can have a top 5 quarterback. You got to have those guys that are kind of on the fringe that still make great plays when they need to, and, just play in their system and make things work. And I think that Baker Mayfield is fully capable of that. So I think you can definitely still get a lot out of him. And I think that he'll do a team a lot of good if he ends up getting moved.
I'm a Baker believer too. Like I really am. I think last year, he ripped his shoulder apart and was still out there fighting every single play. Like, and that's more than you could say than a lot of these other athletes in the NFL. Like, he went out there and put everything on the line while being injured. Probably not the smartest thing to do when a bunch of money is on the line and just playing the position that he plays. But listen, he wouldn't look bad in a Giants jersey either. Like a Daniel Jones for Baker Mayfield trade could be something.
That would be interesting. I feel like he's a Brian Daboll kind of guy.
Yeah, but Brian Daboll said it's Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes, quarterback of this team.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like not just Browns fans, but like NFL fans as a whole are kind of spoiled at this point. We're at this point where we've got guys like Justin Herbert coming into the league, and he makes, a huge splash right off the bat. Even receivers, we talked about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. We've got a lot of these young, talented guys coming in and making a huge impact right off the bat. And they see that and they expect every quarterback, especially the guys that have been in a few years, to be like, oh, well, they should be up at that level at this point as well. And that's just not going to be everybody. You're not going to see that all the time. We have had a very, very fortunate run as NFL fans of the talent that we've seen coming into the league as of lately. And people need to recognize that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, not everybody is going to be able to get Bryce Young like the Seahawks are. So, like, not everybody's going to have that type of quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta deal with deal with the Drew Locks of the world. Okay.
They're just one guy. You can't split them up and spread them around.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of Deshaun Watson, it seems like he's been getting pulled every which way as of recently. He's been in talks with the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, the Browns, as we mentioned, so on and so forth. The Browns and Panthers were notified today that they are no longer in the running. We just have the Falcons and the Saints in this sweepstakes, I guess, if you want to call it.
The Panthers are no longer in the running?
The Panthers are no longer.
That's kind of shocking.
In the running.
Really?
Well. That was reported this morning. I saw. So it's literally, it is just between the Falcons and the Saints. He said he's deciding between those two teams. And I don't know what to believe at this point. I mean, I've seen earlier, I saw somebody say that he had already chosen the Falcons and it would be announced later today. And then I saw a bunch of people saying that this is fake news. I don't know where they got this from. And then I have seen that the Saints are the favorite. So I don't know anymore. We talked about it a little bit in the group chat earlier. Luke, if you want to start us off with where you think this is going, or even what you just out of those two, I guess, what you think would be the best fit.
Everybody's texting me about Davante Adams. Literally, my whole phone's blown up. Everybody's saying I'm sorry.
Notifications.
Yeah, so many. I think he's going to Atlanta.
Real quick. There was reports earlier saying that he was going to decide today. It's now said that he's going to take the next few days to decide.
I mean, okay, yeah, makes sense. I've said yesterday in our group chat, I thought it was Atlanta. And I think it's Atlanta, which is kind of crazy because you asked me this a week ago. I was pretty set on the Panthers for like the longest time now. I thought, maybe he wants to go back to, his old college days or Clemson and chill in Carolina. And I thought that made sense. I thought that they had some good pieces to trade away. But the Falcons came out of left field and they were like, oh, I see Carolina and New Orleans are fighting for this guy. Shit, might as well get into these trade conversations as well. And it's so weird because I feel like Atlanta, out of those three teams specifically, have the least amount of pieces to give up to get Deshaun Watson, which leads me to believe it's going to be way more picks than it is players. This honestly, we might see this trade exceed the Russell Wilson trade from just last week. We're talking like maybe 3 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and maybe Matt Ryan and Grady Jarrett or someone. I don't know. Maybe it's not Matt Ryan, but also I just got an update on my phone that Matt Ryan, he was owed a $7.5 million payday on Friday. The Falcons just pushed that back to Tuesday because they're awaiting Deshaun Watson's decision.
Yeah.
I wish.
Is weird. I'm weird. Matt Ryan. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you just not pay me for a little while for this guy that you're replacing me with.
You know what? We need Baker Mayfield. We need Matt Ryan. We need Taysom Hill, and we need Sam Darnold all to just group together and say, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. Let's have them all hold out. Let's have the entire NFC South hold out, including Tom Brady. I'm with that. Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson doesn't necessarily make this team a playoff team, especially in the division that they're in, and just with the lack of weapons. That being said, I think if Deshaun Watson does go to Atlanta, I think that could, that's going to be an incentive for other players to sign with them, in the future. Maybe I think with Deshaun Watson, they're around an 8, 9, 10 win team, maybe, around that range. But I genuinely do think it's Atlanta. And I don't know. I can't see him with the Saints. I really can't with their cap situation. And I know that they're under now. But I don't know. Gage, do you want Deshaun Watson? Genuinely.
Come on. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It's tough. It's tough. Like from a football standpoint, yeah, absolutely. He's a great player, one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he's on the field. And from just a wanting to win standpoint, yes, I absolutely want him on the team. Early on into the talks, when they first said like, hey, we're in on this, I was like, oh shit. Like how do I approach this? Because, great football player, maybe not such a great guy. So morally, it's kind of hard to swallow. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like if we end up acquiring him, it's going to be like a Steelers type of situation where like, no matter what Saints fans say to you, it's always Deshaun Watson's, a sexual, predator, whatever you want to say. So it's tough but I've come to terms with it, I guess. Like if we get him, I won't be mad because he is a great football player. And I feel like he'll kind of lift up a lot of our guys there and we'll still be competitive. It'll be kind of hard to root for him, at least at first, I guess. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I suppose.
So according to Chris Sims, it was Saints, Panthers, and Browns that reached out to Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson reached out to the Falcons. So the Falcons weren't even involved. Deshaun wanted them to be involved. So his team reached out to the Falcons.
That's interesting. I mean, he's from Atlanta, and his agent is also the agent of AJ Terrell, Casey Hayward, who just signed there.
Yeah.
I think
that Michael Thomas also has the same agent. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I saw something on Twitter. I couldn't find the tweet. I was trying to find that earlier today that said he would try. There would be somebody that would also sign with him and try to form like a super team there in Atlanta. Not like a super team. Like you can't really form a super team in the NFL, but like there would be another.
Broncos are trying. The Broncos are trying.
Anybody in the AFC West is trying right now.
Fucking Bucks.
Yeah. So I don't know. that could be something. Cause like, what is in Atlanta right now? I guess
Nothing. You would
like
be signing.
receiver wise, nothing.
I said this in the Discord earlier. Michael Thomas had more receptions in 2019 than Atlanta's entire receiving core has in their career right now.
Yeah, that's really bad. Like who's left? Like Russell Gage left. Calvin Ridley is suspended.
Yep. There's
Deep shit.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
Zacchaeus. Yeah.
Yeah. Zacchaeus.
I'll pull up there.
Oh my gosh.
There's another one. Frank Darby.
I've never heard of that.
So nobody.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So nobody.
I'm gonna pull
and
up the
Kyle
rest real
Pitts
quick.
and Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts is definitely going to be their biggest weapon.
Hey, Cordell Patterson.
They haven't re-signed him yet.
They haven't re-signed him.
Are they going to re-sign Cordero Patterson?
I think
right
it's
now
one of those things they have to wait on Deshaun first.
Maybe they just signed Damian Williams, so I'm feeling like that potentially is replacement material.
Wow, they are forming a super team. Damian Williams, damn.
Their wide receivers currently are Zacchaeus, like we said, Frank Darby, Austin Trammell, and Chad Hansen.
Who?
Oh, I do know Chad Hansen.
Doesn't he have like 0 career receptions or something? I think.
Yeah, probably.
How many targets though?
Probably 0.
Okay,
probably none.
So
probably
can we
never
judge
stepped foot
him
on the field? I mean,
never dropped a pass.
This could be a Greg Ward Jr. Who was the other guy in Philly that just came out of nowhere?
Shit.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly.
I can't remember his name.
Travis Fulgham.
Fulgham.
Travis Fulgham.
That's it. This could be one of those situations.
Maybe. I would put money that it's not. Probably. If I had the money to put on it, but it's definitely an interesting situation. And I keep having these conversations in the Discord and stuff like that. And people saying, you could be a Falcon. You could, they have this and that to offer. They have nothing. They have nothing to offer.
Yeah.
They have nothing but promises to offer Deshaun Watson. Well, if you sign with us, we will try our best to go sign some receivers. And sure, he'll pull people in. I'm not saying that he won't. There's guys out there on the market that will potentially want to go play with him. But at the same time, I don't know. If I'm him, I just don't know that I'm taking those promises or that potential to have a good team over, a top 10 receiver guaranteed in Michael Thomas. We've got good pieces that we could put around him. We're going to draft a receiver in the first round.
No, continue. Please continue after Michael Thomas. Keep going.
Well, Alvin Kamara may be suspended for a little while. We still don't know what the situation is there. Mark Ingram is still a good running back. We have, other than that in the receiving core, there's not a whole lot right now, but there's the potential we've been in talks with Jarvis Landry from what I'm hearing as well. And Luke, like you mentioned about the cap space, we did create $29.5 million in cap. Like we're under the cap right now because we've been restructuring and stuff like that. So they're making the efforts to put, him in a good situation if he does decide to join us. But I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. I guess we'll have to see if home is more important.
It's weird because I just feel like none of those spots like really suit him. Like I feel like Carolina have pieces to give.
Yeah.
I can't see him in a Falcons ugly ass uniform or a Saints uniform.
Black and gold.
No. Oh wait, did I say Saints ugly ass uniform?
No, you said Falcons.
No, I could see him.
Okay.
I could see him in a Falcons uniform. I can. Somebody put out a Photoshop and I could see it.
Oh, you could see it physically.
I could see it.
Yeah. With your eyes.
With your eyes.
With my eyes.
I'm actually looking at it right now.
No, like that's.
Oh shit! Now I can see it.
Yeah.
Now.
We can all see it now.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's fitting. It does fit him. Saints, absolutely not. I can't in any world imagine Deshaun Watson in a Saints jersey. It just doesn't look clean. It just doesn't look clean to me. Maybe the black one, but the white one, I don't know.
Well, I don't want him for how he looks, so doesn't matter.
Oh, that's the reason Mac Jones fell in the draft. I swear to God, that's the reason Mac Jones fell in the draft because of how he looked. He looked like a dork in a jersey. He looked like a dork because he had the long sleeves at Alabama. Who's had the long sleeves at Alabama in
Is that why Zach
years?
Went second overall? Because the way
he looked better in his jersey. That could be a possibility. We don't know. But yeah, Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I'm starting to lean Atlanta now. But yeah, you guys are right. Like, what the fuck are they gonna give up? Matt Ryan's a definite in that situation. But like,
no, I've seen some things on Twitter
might-
that there might be a 3-team trade with the Colts included in here
maybe,
as well.
maybe
The Colts need to do
send Matt Ryan
fucking
there.
something.
Yeah,
Because-
like the Colts would get Matt Ryan.
Because the Houston, like, they don't really need a quarterback. Like, I think Davis Mills played well enough to like warrant a second season as their starter.
Yeah. Matt Ryan's older.
Yeah, and what is Matt Ryan going to do for like Matt Ryan on the Colts makes sense because the Colts are a little bit more put together for a run right now if they had the quarterback. But like the Falcons, like, what are you giving up besides picks? And if you give up picks, how are you building that team?
Yeah,
because they're nowhere near champion. They're not near playoff caliber right now. Like what Arthur Smith did last year with that team was damn near a miracle, bringing them to what were they, 7-10?
Well, that's what I've been saying. Like even if you just look at, okay, everybody's like, this, you bring Deshaun Watson in, even on that team that they have right now, they could be contenders. He elevates them that much.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me which part of that current Falcons team is significantly better than the 2020 Texans that had 4 wins. The corners, tight ends, maybe linebackers just because of Keanu Neal.
Yeah.
Or Deion Jones.
That's all I think.
Or yeah.
Deion Jones.
I think there's a way that the Falcons could trade for Deshaun Watson without necessarily giving up Matt Ryan. I think it'd just take a shit ton of picks. I think it'd take Grady Jarrett and it'd take Deion Jones.
But how are they going to get a receiver then? How are they going to get a receiver? What receiver?
They trade Matt Ryan for more picks, and then they kind of just sign whoever. I mean, yeah. Kyle Pitts is going to be their main guy anyway. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing that I keep going back to is the only thing the Falcons offer is him going home. That is it.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Maybe that's what he wants. And I think he wants to go home. Because think about all the shit that happened to him while he was in Houston. Like, yeah, he might have deserved it, but at the same time, like, that's a lot of shit to go through, and you want to be near your family. And so with this stuff still going on, because yes, he's not getting criminal charges, but there's still civil cases going on. So
you have to live with that for the rest of your life too.
Yeah.
No matter what, if he did it or if he didn't do it, he has to live with that.
Ben Roethlisberger has to live with it for the rest of his life. Like he got off on like not enough evidence. Like it wasn't even like he didn't do it. They were just like, this isn't enough evidence to say anything.
And that's exactly what Deshaun Watson got off of.
Well, if he wants to go home and lose, then that's on him.
Yep. I'm so with you guys. I'm like, I feel like this team needs picks. This team needs they are in no situation.
They do.
To dispose of like any picks right now.
I don't think they're in a situation to be trying to trade for Deshaun Watson to begin with.
Which is why they probably weren't involved in the Deshaun Watson talks.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be like, he reached out to them. So now they got to be, okay, above all, as an NFL franchise, you need a quarterback. Like you hear this all the time. Yes. Teams giving up the farm to go and get a quarterback in the draft, trading the first overall. Like this stuff happens. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. If you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. Yeah. So I get it. And this guy is like Hall of Fame talent at quarterback. I get that. But it's just like, how far back are you setting your franchise? If you get him.
At what point do you build around him?
Yeah.
When? Like where?
They have a good offensive line. They have a good offensive line. That's in place. They got that.
A good offensive line?
I think it's average.
I
think it's middle of the pack.
Yeah. All right. Jake Matthews, Caleb, whatever.
Chris Lindstrom.
Caleb
McGarry.
Yeah. Like it's good. Alex Mack retired, right?
Yeah.
He's gone. Maybe average, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like the Falcons are under the philosophy of if we're not going to be in a winning situation with or without Deshaun Watson, might as well have the generational type quarterback. So you could at least have something to build off of. I think that puts them in a much better spot. Even like, regardless if they have Matt Ryan, Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, I feel like those guys are expendable when it comes to getting Deshaun Watson. It's just the picks are really the matter of fact here.
They're going to have to hit. They're going to have to hit on their mid-rounders. They're going to have to get lucky.
It feels like one step forward and 2 steps back for me. I mean, they just won 7 games with Matt Ryan at the helm. They need to build the areas where they're the weakest. And if you trade for Deshaun Watson, you're not doing that. Matt Ryan is serviceable enough.
They're going to have a shit ton of money in free agency next year. So, I mean, and not all hope is lost. They could build this team through free agency, or trades or what have you. But I don't know.
What does Matt
I guess-
Ryan's contract look like in comparison to Deshaun Watson's? I mean, I know it's not like
I believe
I know
he's-
Deshaun Watson's getting paid a lot, but
I honestly, I think Deshaun Watson signed for longer term, but I feel like they're making similar money. Because I know Matt Ryan is one of the top 5 highest paid players of all time.
yeah.
But,
I don't-
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to get a lot more interesting. And I'm really interested, like you guys, to see these trade packages and stuff, because for them to have meetings, the packages have to have already been approved. You know what I mean? The Texans have to be like, yeah, we'd be willing to accept that if he decides to go to your team. So I keep seeing for the Saints that we're trading, or that we could be trading CJGJ. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. I'm not gonna go back now. Fuck. Matt Ryan has a base salary of 16 million this year and a base salary of 20 million next year. That's not the total cap hit. Goes closer to 40 million for both these 2 years. So,
jeez. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money either way, I guess. So if you're gonna have one of the two, Deshaun Watson is the guy to have. Younger. You're gonna have him for longer, most likely. It makes sense, but it doesn't in my eyes.
Yeah. I think you gotta hope that you get it. You're only, because I can't see them getting Deshaun. You can't give up any player. You can't sacrifice any players. Like, the only player you can sacrifice is Matt Ryan. Like, that's it.
I think it's gonna have to be
you need AJ
Grady
Terrell.
Jarrett.
You need Deion Jones. You need Grady Jarrett. Like, if you, I guess
one
you
of
don't
those
need
one or
Grady
two
Jarrett.
guys.
I don't think
But,
that the Texans are coming out of it without a defensive player, though. That's what they want from us.
And I feel like it would be Grady Jarrett. And like, after that, like, who do they have? Who do they have after that?
If it was the Saints, who do you think they would give up? Demario Davis, maybe?
I don't think Demario Davis. I've been hearing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like I've been saying, so a slot corner. Well, he's also a safety. He's pretty versatile. They can put him wherever, really. Outside of that, I mean, I don't know. They want O lineman too, but I hear that they're more interested in defense. Davenport, maybe. I could see us potentially doing that.
Thanks for trading up, by the way, to draft Marcus Davenport. That was lovely.
He's so funny.
He's not a bad player. He's just been injured so much.
He did start to break out at the end of the last season.
When he's on the field, he's great. It's just getting him on the field and keeping him on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think it'll be more defense based than anything else, but we'll see.
We will.
By the way, March Madness update, New Mexico State and UConn. 2 minutes left. New Mexico State up 58-56. Obviously, by the time this comes out, you guys are going to know the results of this. St. Peter's is keeping up with Kentucky with 5 minutes left. Kentucky 62, St. Peter's 60. And they've been going back and forth all night.
Well, that is a great segue. We have one last thing to talk about. We're basically just going to give a little update on everything going on with March Madness, our brackets themselves, so on and so forth. Yeah. Obviously, we have that stuff going on as we are recording this. But earlier today, Michigan as an 11 seed, a lot of people were questioning why they even got into the tournament, ended up beating the number 6 Colorado State 75-63. So they handled them pretty handily. And then Richmond breaks hearts, breaks a lot of brackets as they send Iowa packing 67-63. I know Elite Takes had Iowa making the Final Four or something, I think he said. Mm-hmm. So he is down horrendously.
I mean, Iowa was looking hot. They won the Big Ten championship.
Yeah, meme material was just made, by the way. There's going to be a guy on the New Mexico State bench just stared down the camera as the guy hit the 3. So that's going to be, I guarantee you, that's a new meme. I guarantee it.
All right, boys. And then
Lovely.
I guess we can just go through, our brackets real quick. Not go through the brackets and what all we chose exactly, but just kind of where we're standing right now. Like Jake and I were talking about a little bed earlier, Luke, when you were having some technical difficulties, all of the totally unqualified guys are currently tied for first in the bracket challenge. We all have 70 points. Sped, me, and then you two guys, obviously. And the one pick that I have gotten wrong so far is that I took Colorado State over Michigan.
Yeah, that I feel like Michigan is just way too talented. I always felt like Michigan upset Colorado State, but they were like the more popular pick in that situation. So like it wasn't really an upset, but Colorado State was definitely the underdogs in that game. I think Michigan was literally favored in that game. So I just didn't see it with Colorado State. They put up a good fight in the first half, but Michigan was always the more talented team.
Yeah.
But I had Michigan in that game. The only bust I've had was fucking Iowa losing to Richmond. I had Iowa in my Final Four. What a bunch of dickheads and selfish assholes for not being able to beat fucking Richmond. But anyway, regardless.
I told you guys. And by I told you guys, I mean that I was like, they have a spider as their, their mascot.
That's cool.
That's cool. Let me pick them. So here we are.
Listen, you're better off picking like that than actually like doing research and fucking doing this,
Absolutely.
Now I'm about to get another one wrong because I did pick Indiana to upset St. Mary's, and St. Mary's is up by 22 points right now, so that was a mistake.
I will say last year, not that this means a damn thing now. Last year I got the entire first round correct. The entire
That's pretty
first
wild.
round.
You picked Oral Roberts?
Yes.
You chose Oral Roberts.
Yes, because I made like 10 brackets last year, so I didn't just stick to one. But in one of my brackets, I made it the entire first round, and then it was terrible from there on out.
That's hella impressive, actually. That's really. I mean, you got to make multiple.
Yes.
It's a very rookie mistake to only make one. I made 3, and then what I always do is the ones I'm not sure of, I'll pick the other team in the other brackets.
Yeah.
I should have been, man. I know this happens every time. This happens every year. I look back and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like why? Like, why did I think South Dakota State was going to upset? Like they almost did, but like,
it's just so easy to overthink it. Yeah. You're like, you know what? I could pick this team for this reason, but I could pick the other team for that reason. And then you get too in your head about it. I think
it's so easy. It's so easy to overthink it because every year without failure, there is always 2 or 3 teams that are not supposed to win and just do without failure. So every year you go into it being like, what are those teams? And you just overthink it about the really good teams. And it's just, and some you just can't see coming. You can't see coming. Like you picked Richmond because they're a spider. Like nobody, you didn't see it coming.
I did. Right? I picked New Mexico State because I was like, nah, UConn's not back. And that was the only reason. And here we are.
Nah. No, UConn actually isn't that good. I had Iowa in my Elite 8. Tough, real tough. I had them beating Kansas. I was out for Iowa this year, which doesn't make sense because fuck Iowa. I mean, Big Ten strong. I was a Wisconsin guy, and I still think Wisconsin wins this whole thing. That might be wishful thinking considering, Gonzaga looks outstanding right now, but
I don't know. They were struggling early.
They were, but they pulled it together at the end.
They did. They beat them by a lot, but
Chet Holmgren is on another level. There's like a different specimen. He's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Probably going to like the Magic or some shitty team, the Pistons maybe. Kings might be there.
Kings got nothing. Yeah. Just you got hold me to this. I want this on record. Next year, I am taking 3 12 seeds. It's always the 12s over 5s every year, without doubt. That's the most likely upset. It happens every time. I am taking 3 12 seeds over 5 seeds. I don't care who it is. It could be fucking North Central Western fucking Kentucky University. I don't care. Okay.
What if the 5 seed is Penn State University?
It won't be. Penn State would be a 16 seed.
He said 3. He said 3 12 seeds.
Oh shit.
So that would be the one.
My bad.
That would be the one
pick against.
If God himself just descended from the heavens and blessed Penn State with 3 5-star recruits to be able to get to the 5 seed, yes, that would be the one I don't pick.
They just need to start pulling their football players to start being multi-sport athletes.
Honestly. But I'm done. New Mexico State looks like an actually like legit good team right now. Like this doesn't look like a fluke. Like they got some ball players on this team right now, and they're gonna win. Win. Oh, UConn just hit a 3. Never mind. Hold up. 66, 63, 18
only up
seconds.
6.
Yeah.
Kentucky's only up 6 right now.
They've been on a little bit of a run. a little bit of a run though. So I feel like Kentucky probably has that one. In our bracket, I have Kentucky winning the whole thing. So this would not be good. This would not be good.
Not at all.
I have Texas Tech winning it all.
I don't know about Texas Tech.
I'm looking good on New Mexico, obviously. Kentucky, I need to hang in there. I mean, St. Mary's is a lock. They're up damn near 30.
Hey, it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till it's over.
Mary's before.
They're in they're it's the West Coast Conference. It's the one that Gonzaga's in. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Creighton, I need them to pick it up.
Oh, Creighton's not gonna win.
Creighton.
San Diego State's a dog.
They're only down 6. You know, it ain't over till it's over. Like
who does Buster have? Did Buster pick Richmond?
What you got?
Did Buster pick fucking Richmond?
Oh, he definitely did. He listens.
Oh
to me.
my God.
No, he got the dogs, the Ramblers, Loyal Chicago, 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's who I get my picks from, actually.
Is it like the dog on TikTok that like
where you like
bounce
the
top of the stairs? Yeah.
I thought about doing something like that with him before.
Oh, you definitely should.
You should.
If I did that with my dogs,
Deshaun Watson gonna go?
Oh
yeah.
He used to have a Saints jersey. It was like a little, but he grew out of it.
Oh, so he's biased.
I mean, sorry about it.
That's fair.
Unbelievable.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Right.
Yeah, but just real quick. Fuck Michigan. That's it.
Fuck Michigan.
Yeah. I had Michigan
on
winning,
that.
so I can't even say fuck Michigan.
I did as well.
Michigan.
Yeah.
I did as well, but fuck Michigan.
At Penn State, it's tradition for us to anytime you give the time, you'd say like it's 9:07 and Michigan still sucks. Like that's no matter what. Like that's a constant. That's our thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. And Michigan still sucks. So if my two co-hosts here have anything fantastic that they would like to end it on, now is your time to do it. Jake, I'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Make sure to go follow us on all of our social media accounts. We got TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, you name it, we got it. We don't have MySpace. Apologize for all the youth out there still using it. We're not in the metaverse yet. So again, maybe we're not in everything. But so go follow us on all those accounts. Also, I'm Jake Maltese 3 on TikTok, Lucas Football Fan Zone, Gage's Extra Points. Make sure to go hit us up on that. Hit that follow button. Also, shout out El Sped. Go follow him too. That's Sped with 2 Ds. And if you want more content, because I promise you, if you stayed around this long, you probably somehow enjoy listening to us talk. So if you want more, definitely go follow those accounts.
Oh yeah, and check out our Twitter too. It's been popping off recently. I'm just gonna take this time to say, Davante Adams, from the bottom of my heart, love you. I'm glad I got to see your last game in a Green Bay Packers uniform. And I hope you do great with Derek Carr. I know you will. That being said, go Pack go. And Michigan still sucks. Fuck Michigan. I'm gonna go drink. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. It's time
Happy
to go
St.
drink.
Patrick's.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah.